brain, we have cells called neurons that send chemical signals to each other through neurotransmitters. This communication happens at a location known as the synapse, which is made up of three parts: the presynaptic neuron, the postsynaptic neuron, and the synaptic cleft. The presynaptic neuron releases neurotransmitters into the synaptic cleft. These neurotransmitters are stored in vesicles, or sacs, within this presynaptic terminal until they're released. The postsynaptic neuron has receptors for these neurotransmitters. When they bind, they cause a sequence of different events within that cell. Different groups of neurons and neurotransmitters trigger different events within the brain. One important system to consider is the reward system. Here, the presynaptic cell is known as the VTA, while the postsynaptic cell is known as the nucleus accumbens. The neurotransmitter of interest is dopamine. When the VTA releases dopamine onto the nucleus accumbens, it causes the feeling of reward and satisfaction. This satisfaction can be found in natural rewards, such as sex, food, and drinking. Cocaine also activates this system. However, it does so with a lot more dopamine and a lot more rewards. As a result, you get that euphoric type of high from great amounts of rewards. But how does this happen? Well, usually there's presynaptic dopamine transporters. These transporters work to remove some of the dopamine from the synaptic cleft back into the VTA neurons. As a result, the postsynaptic cell will not get stimulated as greatly because there's less dopamine within the synaptic cleft to do so. This limits the amount of reward that you feel, leaving you with a moderate level of reward associated with those natural rewards we just spoke of. However, cocaine blocks these transporters. Now the dopamine is unable to be removed from the synaptic cleft and returned to the VTA neurons. Instead, it builds up within the synaptic cleft. This causes more activity of the nucleus accumbens neuron because there's more dopamine to stimulate it. That causes you to feel even more euphoric and aroused. This is why the high from doing cocaine feels so rewarding. After a while, the dopamine within the synaptic cleft will start to be broken down by different chemicals or enzymes. Usually, it would have been returned to the VTA through those dopamine transporters, and it wouldn't have been broken down. Instead, it could be used for subsequent firing. With the dopamine breaking down, it leaves you feeling sad or depressed. This tends to happen about 10 minutes after you've done cocaine, and it tends to be the reason why people choose to do it again.